Sybil. What's going on, everybody? My name is Andre. I'm with St. Louis Wholesale Real Estate Properties, and you can check us out at stlwholesalere.com. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and press that thumbs up button. Thumbs up that button. Appreciate it. Also, make sure that you share this out, comment. Hey, if you guys need to ask me any questions, excuse me, personally, not any personal questions, but if you need to ask me anything directly, make sure you contact me. Hey, my email is Andre, that's Andre, at stlwholesalere.com. Don't forget to subscribe, big red subscribe button. Also, make sure you turn your notifications on. You'll see the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Cheap houses for sale in Webster Groves, Missouri. Is it possible? Okay, first of all, I'm not going to sit here and sound like some used car salesman. You can get all kind of cheap homes in Webster Groves, Missouri. We're not doing that. We're just going to try to, I guess, bring some logic to this. You can get cheap houses in the Webster Groves, Missouri area. Don't just think when you hear the word cheap houses that, you know, it's in some type of underserved area, or, you know, it's gonna be, there's something wrong with it's cheap. And you all that are savvy investors, you know what I'm talking about. But, you know, you guys also covet these type of properties. You covet the undervalued property. What investor do you know wants to overpay for anything? I'm listening. Not a one. Not a one. They all want cheap properties. You know, if you're dealing on you know, the side that we deal on, you know, if you're buying wholesale properties, you know, you want the property as cheap as possible. If you're buying, I mean, I would imagine if you're a retail investor, you want to buy a cheap house, but you want the house to be up to par. You don't want it to be, you want it to be cheap in price. You don't want it to be cheap in terms of the physicality of the property. So, you know, when you hear cheap homes for sale in places like Webster Groves, Missouri, or anywhere, you know, for those of you that may be new to this channel or maybe new to the business, don't let that scare you. You want cheap. You want to find a cheap property. You want a great area, don't you? And, you know, if you get it cheap, boom, you got equity in it. So, you know, you definitely don't let that run you off, because, you know, if you listen to too many people, you'll get discouraged, and you'll start thinking, I don't want a cheap property in the Webster Groves. I don't want a cheap property anywhere in the St. Louis, Missouri. And, you know, you just don't want that. So try to stray away from that as much as possible. But the logic here with, you know, cheap homes, when cheap houses are for sale in places such as Webster Groves, or in places such as, I guess, throughout the St. Louis, Missouri area, the logic behind this, I guess, from my perspective, is this: things happen. Life happens. They don't just happen in a certain part of certain areas. They happen all the time. So job losses, they happen, right? They happen everywhere, don't they? So they happen in Webster Groves. So let's say you got Homeowner Bob that, you know, unfortunately loses his job. Homeowner Bob, you know, maybe he doesn't have, maybe he ran through all of his I guess all of his, I won't say retirement, but he ran through his savings. And he thinks that the best way to, I guess, recoup, or not recoup, the best way to get cash is to sell his house. Maybe he's just comfortable with selling the house. Maybe he doesn't want to live there anyway. He hadn't updated the thing, and the home hadn't been updated since he moved there. And, you know, he just decided he wants to get rid of it. So, you know, but he lost his job. So that happens. That's the way you can acquire property. So it's not, when you hear cheap homes for sale in Webster Groves, you know, get that out of your head, that maybe that area has a bunch of just cheap houses and there's a smorgasbord. This is about opportunity as well. This is about doing marketing the right way. This is about getting undervalued properties for your cash buyers. And, you know, from my perspective, I have to understand that there are things that just happen in life. There's things that happen that's not in our control sometimes. So, you know, so you can get these cheap houses. These cheap houses will be for sale. Doesn't have to have a for sale sign on them. So if it's a cheap property in, you know, in Webster Groves or in, you know, any other place in the St. Louis, Missouri area, it doesn't have to be a sign on it. And usually, more times than not, way more times than not, you know, everyone won't even know that the property is for sale other than the person that's thinking about selling it. Maybe he hadn't officially, you know, put it on the market, or maybe he's talked to a realtor, you know, and that realtor told him the bad news of, you know, he has to update it, he has to fix this, he has to fix that, it needs a new roof, it needs the water heater, it needs a furnace. And, you know, that can be discouraging, and that could also cause for a sense of, you know, they may want to put some speed behind it and sell it quickly, you know. So, you know, that's a discouraging thing. But, you know, a lot of times these houses will be for sale and you'll never know. You know, you won't see them on the MLS because these are off-market property. They're not on the MLS market, the multi-listing service market. And so, just understanding that certain things happen in life that are, you know, out of, you know, most of our control. It leaves these opportunities. You know, homes going to pre-foreclosure all the time. You don't know if a property's in pre-foreclosure all the time. You know, you may not know a particular property is in pre-foreclosure. You just may not know. Another situation is, you know, divorce. Divorces happen. They happen all the time. So I would imagine they happen in Webster Groves, don't they? You know, if nobody's getting divorced in Webster Groves, I'm sure everyone wants to live that's married in Webster Groves. You know, it happens. So these things happen. They happen all over. It doesn't matter where it is. Anywhere in the country, anywhere in the United States that these things happen, these circumstantial events happen, these emotional events happen, these financial distress situations, they happen. You know, people inherit homes all the time, don't they? Don't they inherit homes in Webster Groves? And you just may not ever know. You know, the property doesn't have to be run down. Maybe the property is run down. So, you know, it's just so many situations to, I guess, a motivated seller, to why somebody is motivated to sell, to why somebody needs to sell their home. They need to sell it. They need to sell it quickly. So there's just a lot of things that go on with that, you know, we might never know on the outside. But, you know, people, they will sell their property. They will sell their property because of distress. You know, the property just could be in some type of distress. It could be on the verge of being lost to, you know, and I guess the tax default or what have you. So, you know, there's a lot of reasons. But, you know, the cheap houses are for sale in Webster Groves. So it is possible. It's, like I said, it's not just certain areas that we think, especially, you know, if you know our market here in the St. Louis, Missouri area well, it's not just one community or this community or you know, that over here. That's life. It happens everywhere. So, you know, you don't need me to tell you that. You know, you guys know that. But make sure you thumbs up this video. If you guys need to contact me, you can contact me directly at Andre, ANDRE, at STLWholesaleRE.com. Share this video. Subscribe to this video. Don't forget to do it. Do it now. Hey, thanks for watching this video. We will see you, of course, in the next video, won't we? Thanks for watching.